with you live on NEA Report. We had just a bit of an interruption there, a strange one at that, but we are still asking for the public's help in locating this missing girl, 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn. As a matter of fact, the reason the video went down just a moment ago, if you were joining us in our first live video, evidently there was some type of rights issue, or at least we got a rights dispute submitted to us. We'll see what that's about at some point or another. But right now we want to get back to the pertinent information, which is that a 16-year-old girl has been reported missing from the Valley View area, and I'm going to run through the press release fully that has been sent out by Jonesboro Police Department right now. The press release says that on Monday, today, as I say this, it was officers with the Jonesboro Police Department that were notified that 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn had ran away from school property. It says she was recorded on the school's camera system leaving the school ground just before 8 a.m. She was seen getting in a 2004 to 2008 black Pontiac Grand Prix, and it says that the passenger car had damage to the side door, and the it says the rear view mirror, the side view mirror rather, is missing on the passenger side. So I've got actually got this pulled up so you guys should be able to see the car, and I'm going to show that to you here momentarily, and hopefully this will, let's see if we can get this to overlay correctly. So there it is. There on the left side of your screen is the car that we've been discussing, the vehicle that she was last seen in the Valley View area. It says she's not been seen or heard from since getting in this passenger car, and it's unknown at this time who the driver of that vehicle is or if there were any other occupants in the vehicle. It says that the Jonesboro Police Department asking for your help in locating this girl, or in locating maybe the identity of the driver of that vehicle, or just any other tips or information that you might be able to provide. 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn missing since around 8 a.m. this morning, a short time before then. Police asking you to contact them if you have any information that could assist them. 870-935-5657 is the number police are asking folks to call. We appreciate everybody that's watching this live with us, liking and sharing this, because we're trying to get the info out to as many folks as we could. We were going strong a short time ago, but the strange dispute that was submitted to us, or rather a copyright thing, took the video down. So we're going to send that to them and see if that'll bring it back online. It may not. However, I do want to, while we're getting everybody joining us, I want to show everyone this vehicle just a little bit closer, because just before it cut us off in the live stream, and maybe some of y'all who are watching with me right now can help and help find answers for what we're looking for. We were looking at some of the photos, specifically this one, but zoomed in. Let's see if I can take that large so that we can get that on the screen there. And I want to zoom in on this and show you, you can almost see what appears to be the driver, right? You see how that it looks like there's maybe a green plaid shirt, or a green kind of checkered style shirt. I'm almost certain that's a green plaid shirt. Or it could be blue, I suppose, and the green tint of the windshield is kind of distorting it. However, it's that individual that police are looking for information on. They want to know who that is. They're trying to find out his identity. If you have information on that, if you maybe seen this vehicle parked at an apartment complex or some place that you were eating at one day where there could be more security footage pulled, or maybe you just have any information about the missing girl, then we're asking for you to contact Jonesboro Police Department. 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn has been missing since this morning, but Jonesboro Police Department believes that she got into this vehicle. It was around, like I said, 7:30. It's actually 7:26 on the time code. You can see right there. The release says shortly before 8 a.m. She got into the vehicle, according to them, and as somebody mentioned in chat, a social media post says that her phone was found in the garbage can. And so I've got that social media post, and I've actually, let's see if I can check that out. So it says, I found her phone. Many of you have seen this. It's been shared 6,500 times just as I look at this right now. But it says in the social media post that on Facebook, I found her phone in the trash can in a trash can at school in Valley View. Security footage shows her getting into that this car on the left, at that time. It says it's a black Pontiac Grand Prix with an A-State front license plate. The back license plate has not been one that we've been able to easily see or discern. We're going to try to pull up another photo of that, and maybe here together all of us can take a closer look at that and see. So bear with me again, because we're going to pull down that photo. Let's try that. No, that was not what I wanted to do. Perfect. Now let's see if we can get this other photo. I had a couple of photos, as I mentioned, that were just sent along to us by Jonesboro Police Department. And so the other photo shows the vehicle leaving, and it kind of shows the back end of the car. Unfortunately, it's not a high-quality photo, and we're getting a photo of the photo. So it may be a little bit more difficult. I'm going to actually see if I can maybe touch this up live on the air with all of you helping me. That may get us somewhere. All right, so this is a photo here, the back side of the vehicle that we're talking about. As we look at that vehicle, let's take a zoom in here on the license plate. It's an Arkansas license plate, and although you can't really see the letters there, you can kind of see the outline of a few of them. I think at the minimum you can make out that it's a standard 6-digit license plate, right? It looks like that, and it looks to me like the possibility of an L beginning the second series of numbers, but it's really tough to say. There is an ability to touch up photos here, but I'm probably just going to crash the computer whenever I try to do that. No, okay, here we go. Let's see if we can maybe enhance this just a bit. Doesn't really do a whole lot, does it? We'll try to darken it, but I don't know that we're going to get anywhere in seeing much on this. What we know is that the vehicle, a black Pontiac Grand Prix, it does appear to have an Arkansas license plate on the back. On the front, it has an A-State plate. This may be a local vehicle, right? And that's kind of indicative of that, especially in a case like this. That's a very important detail that you want to, kind of find out where the vehicle came from, or where that we might be able to locate this. Because this is a local possibility, at least, we want to get that info out there as quickly as we can. It's dark right now as we're reporting this. It's 7:45 at night, and it may be more difficult to see, but if somebody drives somewhere and sees the black Pontiac Grand Prix that we're showing you, well, then that may be the tip that gets police the info that they need to find. I want to show you the front of the vehicle because it's mostly relevant to show you that, especially right now. At the same time, want to let everybody know that police needing your help if you have seen or heard from anything related to 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn was last reported seen this morning and has been missing since then. And the authorities are seeking the public's help, both in getting the word out and might hopefully find some information that comes back. That's the front of the vehicle, and you've got the passenger side door there. You can see this is the most important tip probably from these photos, because that vehicle's not going to get repaired anytime in the next few days. It's described as a black vehicle, but it could also be graphite or dark gray. Pretty sure it's black, but it's tough to see, again, in this photo of a photo. But you can definitely see it's run up against something on the passenger side. The mirror's dangling. Wouldn't be surprised if after all of these reports that mirror gets ripped off of there. However, you can still see the doors. They're going to need some repair work done to them. And I think maybe the passenger window looks like maybe even cracked, kind of around the crease where it meets the mirror. Pamela mentioned in the chat, looks black or dark blue to me. That's what I'm thinking as well. It's definitely a dark color. And, you could take note also, as we mentioned, it's the A-State Red Wolves license plate on the front. It is one of the black style license plates. It's the decorative style, right? It's an Arkansas license tag that is on the back of it. And again, and I'm curious what some of you think about this that are in chat, but what are we seeing that as far as the guy driving it? That looks to me like a green plaid shirt. I saw somebody say it looks like an older man. I really can't make that much out, but that comment got a couple of likes, so there could be more to it. Pamela said that as well. Tough to really see right there, but definitely curious if you guys have more insight than I do on that. Of course, as many sets of eyes that we get to look at this, it's more chance that we'll catch something that someone else didn't see. But you can see this photo. The timestamp on that was at 7:26 this morning. That was taken this morning at the Valley View Schools in Jonesboro. And the young lady on the right is the girl that's missing, 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn. JPD says that she ran away from school or got into this vehicle. It was around 7:30-ish this morning. And her family's worried. They're worried sick. The Post indicates that a lot more folks than just her family are worried. Over 6,000 people in just a couple of short hours have shared that social media post, and many more have seen it. Usually the shares are a small factor of the reach, and a 6,000 shares probably in the hundreds of thousands of viewers, because each share goes to 1,000 friends or more, perhaps. It's something that the word is getting out on by that, also by what we're doing here live, because we've got over 300 people joining us live here on NEA Report at 7:49 here at night on a Monday night. It's a message here, and I'm seeing this from SL people seeing a sticker on the back. So let's go ahead and pull the photo of the back of the vehicle. Yes, this is why we do this. So on the back of the vehicle, on the back windshield, you can see some type of sticker, and I'm presuming that is some kind of sticker at the base middle of the windshield. So is that what you guys are talking about? Because I can see that in this photo too. It appears, it's impossible for me to tell what that is. That could also be a Red Wolf sticker. However, it is some type of sticker that's in the lower center back of the vehicle there. And also, you're looking at a vehicle with some serious window tint on it. And so that's just something to take into mind as well. This photo shows it's definitely a black vehicle. I think it shows that a little more clearly than the other photo does. I'll switch back to the other photo because you can see the front of it there as the light kind of gleams off of it. If you know this car, as authorities are asking you to do, please contact them. Jonesboro Police Department is 870-935-5657. Also, if you want to contact JPD anonymously, you can. And that number for Crimestoppers is 870-935-STOP, 7867. Whether you contact them there, or you can even message their page if you would like on Facebook directly. It's of the utmost importance if you have information. If you have seen this car today in Jonesboro and Craighead County in northeast Arkansas, your information, especially even if you just saw it at a gas station or you passed it while you were driving down the highway, but you noticed that passenger side damage because you were thinking to yourself, you better avoid that vehicle, it might do the same thing to you. If it's something that may just trigger a small bit of information, a lead that police can capitalize on, and then say, we found the vehicle here at this time, that is important. So all I'm trying to do is animate and illustrate for everyone how important just even the smallest bit of information you may have could be in the overall scheme of the investigation. It's 870-935-5657 if you have information about either 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn, who has been missing since this morning, reportedly got into this vehicle, thought to be a runaway right now, but it's a serious situation that you're talking about. As we've mentioned before, young people, impressionable minds. We don't know what the person's intentions are that she's with. The family's thinking about that and worrying about that long before I've mentioned that too. And that's why they want to get her back and make sure that she's safe and make sure that where she is with people that do have her best intentions at heart. That is her family here in Jonesboro. I'm going to pull up another photo here, and it's going to take just a second, but this is going to be the photo that we were sent by the Jonesboro Police Department. And this is just a little bit of a different headshot type of photo. It's the point I'm bringing that up here is that she could look a little bit different depending on the photo that you're looking at. So I just want to make sure that everybody doesn't miss anything here with what we're showing. So that is now on the left side of your screen, right there. Sloane Caroline Quinn, since 7:30 or so this morning, has been missing from the Valley View area. 16-year-old, and this young lady is missing, and her family wants to get her back safe, and they need your help to do that. Seeing some folks say, who's Stan? I'm Stan Morris, the guy talking right now. I'm Stan Morris reporting. This is NEA Report. We're coming at you live 7 minutes before 8 p.m. Central Time. We're in Jonesboro, Arkansas. As we have several hundred people watching, as usually happens, a lot of times these are shared in states that are adjacent to us, maybe even other time zones. So for those of you watching this live stream, we do appreciate you joining us. We're here for an urgent need for the public's help in finding information out about 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn. She's been missing since this morning. A viral social media post has been shared almost 7,000 times, and it's getting a lot of attention. Jonesboro Police sent out a press release just a short time ago, and it was for this missing juvenile, and we wanted to come online and get that to you just as quickly as we could. On the left side of your screen, I'll tell you what, I'll actually show you the press release, because you can see I just pulled that up on that computer monitor there. And you can see, we'll read exactly from it what is said. It says, police attempting to locate a missing juvenile, and it says on Monday, this morning, of course, officers, Jonesboro Police Department, were notified that 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn had ran away from school property. It says she was recorded on the school's camera system leaving the school grounds just before 8 a.m. She was seen getting in a 2004 to 2008 black Pontiac Grand Prix. The passenger car, just as we showed you a moment ago, has damage to the passenger side door, and the rear view mirror is missing on that. The side view mirror, on the passenger side, that thing has been, looks like torn and is hanging perhaps by a wire. It may also have been torn off completely by now. The vehicle had what investigators believe is an Arkansas State University Red Wolves license plate on the front and a state-issued license plate on the rear, issued in Arkansas. But it can't be made out. The tag number itself can't be made out clearly in the video. We'll show you that here again. All we have are still images of the vehicle from security video. And we actually have images of the images, a photo of printouts, so the quality may be difficult to make out here. It says she's not been heard or seen since getting in the passenger car, and it's unknown at this time who the driver of that vehicle is, or if there were any other occupants in the vehicle besides the driver and Sloane. Jonesboro Police Department Detectives asking for your help. They need your help in locating Sloane, or if you have any information on her whereabouts or the identity of the person that drives the described vehicle, to contact them at 870-935-5657. Put that on the screen, make it slightly bigger so that folks can see that. Also call Jonesboro and Craighead County Crimestoppers at 870-935-STOP if you want to contact police anonymously, but you have good information to provide. They need it, and they're looking for that information tonight in Jonesboro, as NEA reports from what is the town of at least 6,000 shares for this, but it's probably significantly over that, as I'll look at it again here in just a few moments. That's a significant number of shares in just a few hours. You're talking about a reach in the hundreds of thousands. Quite a few people have been notified about this young lady that's missing, and the hope is that maybe somebody is watching this or will watch this that knows something, and that can help police to find the young lady, to find the 16-year-old girl that got into that vehicle this morning. Don't take these things for granted just because you see the words, the young girl ran away from school property. You have to remember that when you're talking about young minds, growing minds that are dealing with new emotions and predators and people that take advantage of those emotions, you have to remember those people are impressionable and can be taken advantage of. and it's still a very serious worry for us to have to consider. This is another photo that we're showing you here of the young lady. You can see that at neareport.com, by the way. The story is the top story right now: girl missing from Valley View, police need public's help. We'll show you some photos here also of the vehicle that the girl was last seen in, as those are paramount in the important search for details here tonight. So you can see the front side view of the vehicle there. It shows what appears to be, at least as far as the pixelated view that we get from this, appears to be an Arkansas State University license tag or plate on the front. Let me pull the mouse pointer in here so you guys can see that. That is what is believed by investigators to be the Arkansas State University Red Wolves license plate. The damage that's mentioned on the side, the mirror, you can see what appears to be the mirror hanging loose here, but it may have been torn off completely. There's some scraping damage to the side of the vehicle here as well. So this could have all been done at one point in time. And I don't know why that this comes to mind when I see that, so I'm just going to vocalize it, see what you guys think of this in chat, and girls. I'm seeing that and thinking of all the construction that takes place, you know, in the West Memphis area. But it's still local plates, at least with Arkansas, but I don't know. I think of maybe a vehicle that hit one of those concrete guardrails, or maybe it brushed up in a, you know, 2-lane against another vehicle. But it's scraped, so that would seem unlikely. Seem more likely it was in the left lane and it grinded against some concrete guardrail, such as if they were coming back from Memphis to Jonesboro. We've all driven through that construction over there, and sometimes it's a close fit, especially late at night. It's just one possible hypothesis as to how damage like that could occur, but it does appear something scraped paint off of the side of the vehicle there. And we also don't know, and I mentioned, see Tabitha's comment, because it says they don't have to live on campus. No doubt, that's not indicative of somebody necessarily living on campus or having even a connection to campus, although it would make you think they probably do. But also it could just be that they traveled to Memphis and come back. I mean, people travel, you know, so there may be nothing to be gained from learning how that damage was sustained to the vehicle, but I am just for reference sake, I'm wanting people to know it looks like that type of damage from what we can see in the photo. So for sure, I mean, we definitely would like to know how that happened, but at the same time, it may not necessarily be just the most relevant detail in this. Apologies, give me 5 seconds. I've talked for 23 minutes. I need a drink. This is Stan Morris reporting on NEA Report. It's 1 minute after 8 p.m. this Central Time in Jonesboro, Arkansas. We're coming to you live tonight as a missing girl has been reported, a runaway from the Valley View School area just before 8 a.m. 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn, seen on the right side of your screen there, was last seen short time before 8 a.m. this morning, and that's 12 hours ago, almost exactly. So it was a short time before 8 a.m. that she was last seen getting into a black Pontiac Grand Prix, pictured on the left side of the screen right there. That vehicle precisely is the one that police are trying to locate. If you've seen it, if you have information about this girl, if you have any information at all, 870-935-5657, Jonesboro Police asking for that. But, you know, we're looking for information that could come in from anywhere, could be in the surrounding area. So we certainly see several thousand of you have watched and joined our live stream thus far, and we appreciate you for liking and sharing this video, because our hope is to get this in front of just as many people as we possibly can. Maybe someone will have seen that car or seen the 16-year-old girl. You know, maybe someone will have seen something. That's the hope. Let's see if we can pull up the website again here and show you the young lady here. This is just another photo that we're going to show you of the young girl, and just kind of get an idea of what she may look like depending on the lighting, the angle, you know, different factors there. It was at around 7:30 this morning, a little after that, or right around then, shortly before 8, that the girl got into a car in the Valley View school area and left. And a social media post that has been shared for several thousand times for the last 2 hours. It's getting a lot of play, and police now putting some information out about that. I'm going to refresh this. You'll see the left photo flicker for just a second because I'm going to try to get the latest view count on how many people have shared it. Just while we've been talking live to you here, another 2,000 or so have shared her original post. This is the one on the left side of your screen. It was posted by Candace Cooper. So for those of you wondering if that is what we're talking about, yes, it is. It's the same incident or the same person. The photo we showed you there at the top of the NEA report story, she looks a little bit different in that it's kind of a glamour shot, but we wanted to show that because, again, just trying to give everybody as much as they can to hopefully recognize this young girl. Nathan posted, "I know her. She's so sweet. Praying." Wow. It's got to be difficult whenever you... Well, I know it's difficult whenever you know the person the story's about, to be quite honest. I know that as well as anybody from the past month. And when I saw this, the first thing I thought of was how that this is somebody's daughter and a family member to someone. And we don't know this, but the person in that car is not who she's supposed to be with. We do know that. But what I was about to say was we don't know they have her intentions, her best intentions at heart. We don't. As a community, we have to come together when incidents like this happen because we have to be the line of defense against bad folks. I sincerely hope that whoever the 16-year-old girl Sloane is with has her good intentions at heart and has made, some silly choices and helps her to realize that and gets her back home to her family. That's the right way to go about this. The wrong way is for this to continue. But of course, then there's the worry of if the person she's with doesn't have her best intentions at heart. That's why we need people to speak up and to say something if they know something. It's the car on the left side of your screen that was last seen, that girl was last seen in. And it was around 7:26 this morning. She does not have a phone with her, as some folks have asked. And so the phone was actually located, according to the mother, in a garbage can at the school. At this moment, right now, it says that just in the release that authorities are seeking information. They don't know much other than to say that the car, we've said this, half a dozen times, Red Bull's license plate, looks like it's got a sticker on the back of it, maybe. A few people mentioned that, pointed that out. Can I pull that up and see if that comes up there? Yeah. See this right here? Maybe some kind of squarish styled sticker on the back. Doesn't look like the vehicle's kept clean either. Looks like an Arkansas license tag. And I don't know. Could be an L and an N or a G, or I could be completely wrong because the light makes it just about impossible to see that. Maybe some reflective license plate law or something would be a good idea. I don't know. But you can't really see the exact tag number or digits, but you can make out what appears to be an Arkansas license tag. With that being the case, plus the front of it showing what appears to be a Red Wolf tag or Red Wolf decorative plate, it makes you think this is local. A local car, a local person. That's why when I'm talking about making the right choice, when I'm talking about, coming home, and I know you're scared and you're freaked out now because the police and the news people are involved, but the right choice is stopping and coming back and coming home. It's the family that suffers during times like this. It's the family that suffers the most. And so our hopes tonight, as we're coming at you live, are that this young lady on the right of your screen, 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn, is found safe soon. We want that to be the resolution to this story, that she comes back home, and that this was just a case of hopefully some people that are relatively close in age making poor choices. That's the hope. But we don't know that. And that's why we need the public's help in making the right choices for certain. So if you see this vehicle, you have any information about this young lady, or you can help authorities out, please contact 870-935-5657. That's the number Jonesboro Police are asking the public to call. If for some reason you want to be anonymous, that's okay. There's a number for you to call as well. And I'm talking about the people that are friends of either of these two. Your decision in the next couple of hours could be a life or death decision. I'm speaking to those friends. The number for you is 870-935-STOP, Crimestoppers. You'll be anonymous. You might also be a hero because of what feels like a difficult decision. But when you get a little older and you start to realize how much you care about your family, sometimes tough love is the only route. And you'll hate yourself if you don't. It's a sad situation to have to report to everybody tonight, but we're hoping it is a situation that has a positive outcome. We know a family's very worried tonight, but our hope is that getting this out to as many people as we possibly can will help alleviate that family's worry. Hopefully they'll know that they're doing everything they can do, that the police and the public doing all that we can as well. And hopefully we'll get some results and we'll find the young girl, and this case can be, well, resolved with a positive ending. So I got asked there, Bonnie says, please put a picture of the car on Facebook. I will as soon as I finish the live stream. Teresa says, I'm sure the SRO has been interviewed. There's tons of people on campus at that time, most definitely. At what time did they realize she was missing? Well, it says that she was seen around 7:30 getting into that car. It doesn't specify when it was exactly realized that she was missing. My guess is throughout the day at some point in time. But even though it says it was seen around then or traced back to then that she was seen running away, we don't know that that's when they found out about it. It may not have been too much many hours later. And apologies for my sentences being a little bit jumbled. Haven't done this in a few weeks. It's been a little bit crazy at home too. Steve asked if we can zoom in on the front plate. Sure thing. Let's do that and see if, and I'm sorry for just seeing your comment too. See if this gives us a little bit of a closer idea or look at what that front plate may be. Of course it's pixelated, right? But it really looks to me like the Red Wolf head on the left side and the A-State logo on the right with the big A in the middle over a black background. And I mean, I know they're getting hopefully a better look at it from this photo that we're able to share, but it just seems like that's what police are going on too, based on the fact that they said that it was believed to be a Red Wolf plate. So Aaron mentioned A-State. Brenda mentioned something very, very kind. Your family will forgive anything you've done, sweet child. Please go home. Let your mom and family know you're okay. 100%. This is not a family's mad at you. This is a family's worried sick about you. This is a family will have trouble eating and sleeping and functioning. Their muscles will cramp up because they'll forget that they need to drink water because they're that worried. They'll feel guilty for doing anything but worrying about you. It's a very difficult process, the grieving process for a family. Something that I've become all too familiar with. Bailey says, does she have social media that has been checked? I don't know the answer to that myself, but I know that Jonesboro Police Department's Internet Crimes Against Children Division is most likely doing the full scan and sweep of everything she had, cell phone to social media and all of that. If they have her phone, they're going to know everything that's gone on there, you know. But we may not know about it ourselves because investigators may need that. Appreciate the comment, SL. Thank you for that. It means a lot. You know who you are. Heather asked, can we zoom in to maybe see the driver? Be happy to. Because I thought when we were looking at this a short time ago, I thought we might be able to tell what the driver was wearing. You see how on the left side of your screen there, it almost looks like he's wearing a green plaid shirt. And I know this sounds silly, but I thought he was wearing a neck brace when I first looked at it, when I saw that white whatever another thing. But that doesn't make any sense. It's not a neck brace, right? It's got to be something else. Maybe it's a white undershirt. Maybe somebody mentioned a beard. Maybe that's what it is. Femi said, have y'all checked in with A-State to see if they have a car on file with that as a student? Well, you know, as you're sitting here saying that, you just made me realize something. I was seeing this white part right here. Do you see where the mouse pointer's at? I was seeing that as something on his shirt. But is that a parking decal? Maybe? Or is that something hanging from the mirror? Because it's perfectly centered. I'm curious if you guys can see where I've got the mouse pointer situated on the left image, what that could be. Because I think maybe you may have a point. That could end up being an A-State student. It's a very big possibility. We do have local tags on the back, or at least I said local Arkansas tags on the back. We know that's the area on the front. The Arkansas State Red Wolf thing is on the front. The side mirror broke, Caitlin asked. Yes, it does appear that the side mirror is broken off and looks like it's hanging loose right here. There is also, as Brittany reminds us, a sticker on the back of the car too. Very important. Bailey says A-State uses stickers for parking, and SL says parking decals at A-State are in the corner. So, like right here corner, or maybe over on that side? Not sure. Not sure if that could be an air freshener, or it may be part of the guy's image. We can't really tell, but I just saw that, and it as somebody mentioned, checking the vehicle with A-State, made me wonder if maybe that's some type of identifier. Again, just looking for any kind of things we can find. It says, Lisa, so the sticker on the back looks like Sigma Chi. Okay, so this is the sticker she's talking about. Let me center the camera on it. I have no idea what that is. I can't tell if that's a square or the word Red Wolves or something entirely, a brake light. You know, I don't know. Don't some vehicles have those lights inside of the vehicle on the back windshield? Or maybe it's something stuck to it. Caitlin says, can't they check the traffic light cameras? I think those are I mean, those things are never useful. So I don't know what they're used for, but to answer your question, I don't believe that they can. Carrie said, looked like he had a baseball cap on and was looking down. And then Joanne said, looked like something on his hat. Interesting. So let's go back and take a look and see. Is that a hat? It almost does. It almost looks like he has a hat on and he's looking over to the right, like the passenger side. So, tough to say when I look at that and see, you know, it's like he's got maybe one of those visors or a ball cap, a white ball cap on. But I still think that that's some type of long sleeve plaid shirt, a green one, like the kind you would buy at Old Navy or JCPenney. It's just small details here we're kind of looking for together late night here on NEA Report. It's 8:17 in Jonesboro. It was 12 hours ago, slightly before then, that 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn was last seen getting into the vehicle on the left side of your screen in the Valley View School District area. Since then, she has been missing, and her parents have shared a social media post that has been viral. It's gone viral, and over 8,000 people shared it last time we looked, just a few moments ago, in just a couple of hours too. Obviously, many tens of thousands of people have seen it by now, probably hundreds. And police asking for the public's help in locating the 16-year-old girl, whether it's Sloane herself that hears this, or it's somebody that saw that car, or somebody that knows Sloane, or the guy that went and picked her up maybe in that car. You know, if you got a friend that's got a Pontiac Grand Prix, a four-door, and it's run into something on the right side. So it's got the Red Wolves thing on the front of it, Arkansas license tags. It can only be so many people. And the hope is that somebody that knows who that might be is able to hear this, and then able to contact police. The phone number that police are asking us to circulate for contacting them, 870-935-5657. That's their number. If you want to contact them anonymously, you can. You can speak to them anonymously. They will take tips any way that they can get them tonight. The number is 870-935-STOP if you want to get in touch with them that route. Again, calls can be anonymous, but whether you contact JPD there, the first number, 5657, or you contact them through Facebook or other means, they're hoping that somebody with information tonight will get in touch and help locate this young lady. Let's see, what is that? A lot of folks replying to Amy. So what did Amy say? She said, I've seen that car in my neighborhood before. Amy, I definitely want you to holler at JPD if you have. We're looking for any information that you might be able to get along to them. She said it hasn't been recently. I just remember the mirror. So even if that means that this is a local vehicle, that's a great tip for them to have. You can send them a message, Amy, through Facebook on the Jonesboro Police Department page, and it'll go straight to, I know Lyle Waterworth gets those, and I think David McDaniel does too, and I'm sure several others do as well. So, but definitely share that, because if nothing else, it'll give police a neighborhood to look around in. It could be somebody's nephew or son that lives over there, or uncle, who knows. But it's good information. So, looking here through some more, looks like some family was actually in the chat. Somebody said, James said, what about video? We don't have access to any video right now. We're actually showing you photos of photos. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here when I zoom out on this. Do you see how that this is actually a photo on some brick that was taken by police? So that's what we're using right now to share this image that's on the left side of your screen. Don't have that, sorry. Amy just said that she's doing that now. Definitely appreciate you. Any information is going to be useful or helpful. As a detective told me recently, Josh Wiest, he said that he will never refuse tips and information. He can never be armed with enough. And that's how police look at this. They want to know everything they can possibly know, and even irrelevant stuff, because it may not be relevant based on what they know, but it might be irrelevant based on what you know. Appreciate that. Excuse me. Says Missy says, Stan, someone said they had an enhanced photo of him. Send that along if you do. We'll use it for sure, if we can. It appears in this photo that somebody was driving that maybe in a green plaid shirt. The vehicle, you could see the back side of it. I'll show you now in the photo. It does look like it may have a sticker in the center back part of the windshield. Arkansas license plates. The vehicle almost looks dark green there, doesn't it? But I'm not so sure if it is. I think it's black. So it may just be the tint on the photo. The release says it's black. Obviously, we're going with that, but I'm just kind of opining out loud here. Valley View kids. Yeah, it's a good point. Teresa brought up kids are taking photos all the time. If you have Valley View kids, ask them if they took any selfies today, especially in the morning. You never know. It looks like it says, Heather says, do we know if she was forced in the vehicle or got in on her own free will? The press release is indicative that it was on her own accord. Pull that up and show you what that says right here. The press release says that on Monday, it says she had run away from the school property. That's what the police were told anyway. I always err on the side of caution, right? I mean, okay, if the girl ran away, I mean, that's obviously what we are told happened, fine, but it's, you know, all hands on deck to find her still. And so that's kind of how that is. But, you know, to answer your question, it does appear that she was. And the hope with that might be that it's someone that, you know, perhaps made bad choices today, but does have her good intentions at heart. The worry is that it's not. And if Sloane or maybe the guy that's with her, whatever, anybody else is watching, the reason people are worried is because when 16-year-olds get into vehicles and go away, the parents don't know. But they don't know what's going to happen. The family doesn't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows that it's good intentions. Because it's usually, it sounds like that when it's not. I'm not going to say it usually isn't, but when it sounds just like that, it's cause to worry. And it's cause for the family to be afraid. And please, for the folks out there watching that might know something, please consider that family and how that family is looking for answers, because, gosh, it's hard. It's not just one person. It's everybody around that person that cares for them and, you know, that has, well, their life is taken over by this until they're able to get her back home safe, for sure. The phone was found in the trash, as some folks have mentioned in chat. Whoops, I did not mean to react with the angry face to a random post just now. I'm trying to scroll through this. Bailey brings up a point, and I like this. Even if she did this on purpose, she's only 16 years old, no telling who this person is that she's with. They could be just as dangerous as it would be if she was taken against her will. It's a good point. SL mentions that she used to work with her father, and he's such a sweet and humble man. I absolutely hate this. It's very sad for a family to have to, you know, wonder tonight. You know, with any A report being connected to so many thousands of people, my thought was, if her post is going as viral as quickly as it was, if we do something too, we're going to hopefully double the chance of somebody seeing this. I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe we will find just a tip out there that's worthy of that, or we may not. But the potential of it is worth us trying, and hopefully being able to get the word out there. And maybe, you know, somebody that saw this vehicle today driving somewhere has an idea of where it was going or what direction it was headed in. A black Pontiac Grand Prix, 2004 to 2008 model. It's got an A-State Red Wolves decorative license plate on the front of it, Arkansas license tags on the back, and that passenger side door has some serious scrapes on it, and the mirror is broken off on that as well, almost like it collided maybe with one of those concrete barriers and scraped the side for a few miles, like you might if you know, were driving through a construction zone and you didn't quite get your perspective or side, yeah, right, it's tough to say, I don't know, but you're talking about some damage there that will help you to recognize this suspect vehicle. Police needing help finding that. If you have any information about where that vehicle could have been, who owns it, who drives it, maybe where you've seen it, a neighborhood that you might have seen it before. We've already had one person in chat that said she had seen it in her neighborhood and was contacting police with that information. We're trying to generate those tips just like that we had seen there from Amy. We appreciate her so much for sharing that with us and then taking that, hopefully, with some results to the police. Contact police at 870-935-5657, Jonesboro, Arkansas Police Department. Crimestoppers is a phone number you can call if you want to make the tip anonymously. If you know some people, but you don't want to land yourself in a hot water socially, maybe, Nonetheless, the arguments aside from doing the right thing, this is the number that you would want to contact, 870-935-7867. We're looking for tips and information that can help authorities locate 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn, the girl that ran away this morning. It's according to a release just before 8 a.m. from school. It says she ran away, and that's what they're going based off of. But you still have to treat a situation like this seriously, because 16-year-olds are young and impressionable. They are trusting, and sometimes, many times, to a dangerous degree. So if an adult shows up at a school to pick a young girl up, no matter if the adult's 18 or 80, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So you want authorities to be able to find her as quickly as possible, and they're taking it as seriously, as one could. They have to assume the worst and hope for the best. So looking through chat, just kind of, again, it looks like someone on the passenger side kind of laid back, according to Pamela. It almost does, doesn't it? It's really... I wonder if I could zoom in on this. Ooh, well, I looked at some of the story photos that I worked on today. So we're going to zoom in here. I don't know, it could be, or it could just be the seat. And maybe that's why you're seeing what looks to be something lean back. It's tough to see. It's almost like the seat has maybe a lighter interior color on it and a darker exterior fabric. Do the parents or police have access to her phone? They do. That phone has been recovered. It was found in the garbage at the school and apparently was thrown there. I'm not sure if they said the girl threw it there, if they knew that for sure, but I think that's what they suspected. As somebody mentioned in chat. So, scrolling back through here, has the DMV checked all vehicles registered of that year and model? There's probably a lot for them to check. I'm not sure that they have. In an ideal world, the police would get the access to all that information with just a search. You know how like CSI has all of these amazing, wonderful databases, but authorities aren't always as empowered with those tips and tools as they should be. So that, anytime you're thinking about these kind of things, and if police have access to information and tools, sometimes they do, but oftentimes they don't. And it could be a conversation that needs to be had at some point, giving police the tools and the pay that they need to get the job done. Patty says some of her closest friends must know something. Please let the PD know. She could be in horrible danger. Her parents' hearts are breaking, for sure. Chloe said apparently she threw her phone in the trash due to the fact that she has a tracker on her phone. Well, everybody does. Anthony says, can you post the enhanced photo that was sent to you? Okay, so let me pull this down here on the left side of the screen and see what you're talking about on that. Because if I have that in my email, then yes, I can. Anthony, let me know. Did you send that to me, or maybe somebody sent that to me in a message? I will pull that up here live on the air on NEA Report if I've got it. But I don't. It's going to take me just a second to get to it. While I'm doing that, everybody, if you're joining us, we're sharing information about a girl that's been missing since this morning, missing since shortly before 8 a.m. It's about 7, probably 30-ish or so, that the girl is reported to have gotten in a vehicle at the Valley View area. It was a black Pontiac Grand Prix. Sometime between 2004 and 2008, that vehicle was manufactured. Whenever the girl got into that vehicle, that's the last time that the family's seen or heard from her. And that was, 13 hours ago at this point. So they're very worried right now, and they're looking for any information, tips, leads, just anything. Brittany says, somebody mentioned that they messaged it to me if they're talking about the enhanced photo. So I'm looking here at some of this that's been sent. Could be the shadow of his face in the mirror, one person said. Is that the enhanced photo that you were talking about there? I'm not sure that I see that. Uh, and yes, by the way, our first video that was sent to us, or our first live stream that we took, we did have an issue with a copyright on I think, I'm assuming the background video. I have no idea, and I'm going to figure that out later at some point. It's not important right now. That's why I just wanted to get back online and come live to you as quickly as I could. Again, somebody said he's smoking a cigarette, may or may not be wearing a hat. Could be a shadow of his mirror, his face in the mirror. Looks heavy set, middle-aged, older, shadows under his eyes. And somebody sent me a photo, but I'm not, this is not, it's very pixelated, so I don't think we're going to have much luck if we try to show this on the air. We're definitely going to try to show as much as we can and share as much as we can tonight. I appreciate everybody that's joining us. You know, I'll go ahead and show this, you know, just on the chance that maybe this is more recognizable. This is kind of an enhanced, altered around black and white version of this. Let's see. And so that's going to be, the rounded part of that's going to be the steering wheel. This was the part that's discussed, maybe the reflection. It's tough to say, and it's tough to see as well. We'll go back to the original photo here so you can actually see what we're zoomed in on and talking about. That is the car, that is the suspect vehicle that we're hoping that somebody watching has some information about tonight, whether it's somebody that may have seen it or may know who has driven it before. Let's see. Uh-oh, we've got some people mad at someone in chat. Good grief. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, so don't worry about the trolls. There's always somebody. Let me just tell you a neat thing about trolls online. I've learned something. Whenever you get the attention of the trolls, it means you've gotten the attention of so many other people that you've finally gotten that tiny bottom 1% of humanity to show up. Don't take what they say personally. Ignore it. It's about 8:34 in Jonesboro and across northeast Arkansas. I'm Stan Morris reporting live on NEA Report. A 16-year-old girl missing since 7:30 this morning. Police looking for her in Jonesboro and across NEA, and authorities asking for your help in finding 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn, who was seen getting in a vehicle at about 7:30 this morning in the Valley View area. If you've seen that vehicle, if you've seen that young girl on the right side of your screen, or if you have any information that might assist and lead authorities to finding her, the phone number, I'm going to put that up on your screen, is 870-935-5657. If you would like to give a tip anonymously, Jonesboro Police Department has a number that you can call. Crimestoppers, 870-935-7867-935-STOP. Okay? So, yeah, that's getting deleted. Wow. I'm trying to actually delete some of the troll comments from this horrible person, Brandy White, in chat. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. For some reason, Facebook is just a constant, you know, litany of bugs and glitches. I'm going to try to pull that up, and hopefully I'll be able to get that just as I mentioned, though. You get the trolls, you got to ignore them. You're talking about the worst. Well, some folks are saying, can you take the comment off? I'm literally live streaming. I'm doing my best, but yeah. It's not possible unless she makes the comment again within, like on my phone, I'm able to control that. Try your best to not freak out about it and feed the goofballs that get online. They're just not worth your time. But yeah, I'll do my best to take care of that in addition to the other 27 things we're doing here at once. Trying to get information out about 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn. She has been missing since a short time before 8 a.m. this morning. If you have any tips, information, leads, insight, anything that you might be able to share, authorities would be greatly appreciative of you passing that along to them. Somebody said, yeah. Oh, by the way, thank you to Brittany for sending that photo along. We greatly appreciate that, and being able to share that. Thank you so very much. let's see. So I'm waiting to see. For some reason, as I've mentioned this before, I can't explain why, but Facebook is very buggy, and so it doesn't always give me the opportunity to ban people, even though I'm literally controlling the live stream. It's logged in on my personal account. I can't even explain it because I still have admin privileges on that, but it won't let me ban the weirdo. Nonetheless, thanks everybody for noticing and for mentioning that. Tonight we're worried about 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn, a girl that's been reportedly missing since 13 hours ago from the Valley View School District area. That's where she was last seen, and it's just been a tragedy for the family. They've been looking for her, hoping to find her, and they've not found any information yet. They're continuing to get a lot of shares out of this. They're seeing thousands upon thousands, as a matter of fact, of social media shares. But I'm going through here live with you guys, by the way. There we go. So the weirdo's been banned. I never get trolls that do stuff like that live. That's so crazy. Definitely look into that person's account. That's a weirdo. So now that we've got the crazy people dealt with, let's get back to the important news at hand. We have a young girl that's missing. We have a family that's terrified. We have a community that's doing their best to help. But right now, we're needing help. And we're needing those shares. And if you haven't yet, maybe you know somebody that you can tag in the video that might know something, that might know someone. I know that Arkansas State University is likely looking into this vehicle as well. All those guys follow us here, and so they'll see the same stuff that we do. We're just very hopeful somebody tonight sees this and sees this beautiful young lady, beautiful young girl, as some folks have described, like Lisa said. So many kind people with kind things to say about this young girl, and everybody knows how hard it is to be a young person, to be a young girl especially. Emotions are tough to deal with. And I just say that because I want Sloane to know her family and the public will be more understanding than you think, because they're worried about you. They're not mad at you. They're worried about you. And hopefully we can do something about that together. That's our hope tonight. Shelley said, this is my sister's best friend. Patty mentioned, please continue to share this. A lot of folks sharing and getting the word out. We appreciate that tonight. We've been going for about an hour here on NEA Report in this iteration of the live stream. It's 8:40 right now. The press release. I'm going to close chat for a moment. Excuse me. Apologies there. And I'm going to look through and just see if I've gotten any new information from Jonesboro Police Department. As of right now, I have not. I just want to share, though, with everybody one more time as I run through the story here. This is a girl that's missing from Northeast Arkansas this morning. She was last seen in the Valley View area. It was around 7:30 that she was last seen. She was seen getting into that vehicle on the left side of your screen. It's got some kind of scraping on the passenger's door. It's also got a mirror that's out on it. It looks like it's hanging loose there. An Arkansas State University Red Wolves decorative plate on the front side. On the back, it's an Arkansas license tag. If you've seen this vehicle, you have information about it, about where it may have been. Maybe you've seen it somewhere, and you can pass information along to authorities to get them into the right area, maybe to help them cross off some area that they were looking at. It may seem insignificant to you, but it really isn't to police that are trying to paint the bigger picture. All pieces of the puzzle matter when you're trying to figure out what happened. 870-935-5657 is the number for Jonesboro Police. You can contact anonymously Crimestoppers of Jonesboro at 870-935-STOP. Somebody mentioned an Amber Alert should be out. I don't think, because it's considered a runaway, they will say it meets the criteria for that and use that system. The Amber Alert system is useful, but it is a net that has a lot of holes in it. And what I mean by that is that there are many cases of missing juveniles that probably should have some kind of alert sent out about them that do not, that don't. So I do think that we need a conversation about the alert systems and, maybe different tiers of the alert. Just like we have for storm warnings, we have a serious storm warning and the very, very serious, it's actually, I was going to say the serious storm watch, and then you have the serious or more serious storm warning, and then, different scales. So it just seems to me like that there would be an ability to issue a missing, juvenile alert or something to that effect. Lisa says it looks like her friends would know who she is talking to. It's so hard to say, though, because in school, social tiers and structures are strange. And one person may have everybody in the school as their friend one day, and something could happen that changes that, So, I mean, it's just tough to say. Aaron says to me, this seems pretty dang serious. That's what I mean. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I agree that the alerts, there should be, because this is serious, but for the alert to the people that manage that, for them to say that it doesn't meet the criteria, to me it just means that we need to address that and make it to where, okay, so there's that criteria for the ones that you're saying currently do meet it, that are obviously incredibly serious. But this is serious too. We should be able to send out some kind of alert to the public. I'm with you. I agree, 100%. Seeing some folks join us. Lon Teagles from our friends at Northeast Arkansas News just joined in. Good to see you tonight, friend. Some others joining tonight. If anybody knows any information or knows someone that might, you're being asked to share this, and hopefully the information gets out and gets in front of the right people so that maybe a tip can be brought in. It gets authorities in contact with, and ultimately the family in contact with young Sloane Caroline Quinn, missing since this morning. Let's go and pull up actually some of the other photos here. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, so there's the viral Facebook post I mentioned. Oh, let's go back to the press release for a second, too. For those of you just joining us, Jonesboro Police Department sent this press release out earlier tonight. We'll zoom this out just a little bit, show you exactly what it says. It said that shortly before 8 a.m., she was recorded leaving the school grounds in a 2004 to 2008 black Pontiac Grand Prix. The passenger car had damage to the passenger side door, and the rear view mirror is missing, it says. Okay, so they mentioned the rear view mirror is missing. Let's pull the photos back up for a second, and I'll explain why. I'm not an automobile person per se. I don't know very much, but the rear view mirror is the one inside of the car, right? Because if it's the rear view mirror if that's missing, then that would give us something. That's not something I've specifically highlighted before. And as I look at that photo, I'm trying to look at it as closely as I can. It does appear like that may not be there. So let's see. You've got that possibility of the rear view mirror also being broken, in addition to the mirror over here on this side, the left side being broken, and some serious paint scrape has taken place there as well. Could be that it collided with another vehicle, maybe while on a two-lane, but it also could have hit some kind of concrete barrier and been dragged across that just a little bit. It's tough to really say. I'm able to zoom in and get a little bit better of a look at this photo. I'm doing something different to zoom in on it. So I'm just curious if anybody that sees this is able to see anything different from what we were showing you guys before. Of course, we're referencing the left side of your screen. Mario mentioned it's the GT Model Grand Prix also. Good to know. Appreciate that. Pam sharing in Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you, Pam. There's a possible theory that, who knows, maybe that vehicle could have been driving back from Memphis, and one of the concrete barriers could have been the culprit there on the side. John says rear view mirrors are inside and outside. So that term would be used to describe either one. Gotcha. Wasn't sure if they were called side view, the ones that were over here, or rear view. But I guess everything's looking behind you. Technically, if it's a mirror, you're looking at forward. So appreciate that, John. Jay says not seeing pictures in feed any longer. I'm not really sure why. And Kennedy mentioned that her phone was found at the school. It was actually found in the school trash, just like Amy just said. It was located there at the scene, so they were not able to, ping that or use it to locate her or find her. Just mention that because I know a lot of people have asked. Let's look at the the front decorative license plate, and if that's not an A-State Red Wolf, it's pretty close. Clearly, that's A-State. That's you can see the A right here, and the Red Wolf head right there. So you know the front license plate. You know what it looks like on the side. It's got the spoiler on the back. This vehicle there's zero chance that you're not going to identify it. Let's zoom in on the back of it and see what we can do. Oh, sorry, I should have zoomed out on the crop first here. Sorry, folks. So let's see. This is the back of the vehicle. And specifically, I'm going to do a bit of a higher resolution scan on this. First, I want to look at this symbol on the back. I almost call it a transformer symbol. It kind of looks like the Optimus Prime head or something. We don't know what that is, but there's some kind of sticker on the back, and it does appear to have some kind of design to it. It's not like a perfectly symmetrical shape. At least it doesn't look like it is from there. The license plate digits are not visible, but it does appear to show an Arkansas tag, as you can see there. I'm going to try to see if I can change this around, but I don't think we're going to have much luck. As I move that over just a bit, we'll see as 500 join us live on NEA Report. See if I can adjust this any, and maybe we can see more on the license tags. I'm gonna play with the contrast and the clarity on this just to see if it does anything. It's probably going to be difficult for us to see much here together, but the goal is maybe just make this recognizable. I still feel like there's an L in the license plate numbers, but tough to say. So appreciate everybody that's joining us. Amy mentioned, is it covered in dirt, like from a dirt road? It doesn't look full on dirt road, but it does look like it could be, like that's the unedited photo right there, okay? With no touch-ups or anything like that. So it looks like that, they may have a gravel driveway, or they may have a small county road that they have to go down that's a little gravel, but I don't think doesn't look like it's a lot of dirt. If it is, could be though. It's a good question and a good point. So I was just kind of trying to play around with the photo. You can't really see much else, no matter which settings we play with on here. One person, Angela, mentioned if it was an online predator, a young girl could be told anything, and that's a good point. You really don't know. It could be. Somebody could have been told something and led along a path that's not true and not earnest and not in that young person's best interest. And that's kind of the fear, with this, is that's a possibility. So Jordan mentioned that Valley View has back roads that are gravel. Possibly interesting. Kelly mentioned, can they not get the tags? No, it's not. It's not been possible yet for that to be identified. Actually, the tags have been thus far not discernible as far as what the digits are on it. It looks like there may be an L or a G or something, but you can't even really tell. And it's just it's blurry. Plus, we're looking at photos of photos, as I kind of, as I mentioned before. So I'm going to zoom out on that just a little bit. We'll go back to that first photo here. This is the photo itself of the vehicle as it was pulling in to the Valley View School area. The time code shows 7:26 this morning. And so as we zoom in and just look for any details that we might be able to find, it seems to me like we're looking at a guy in a green plaid shirt or a plaid design shirt with a white kind of backdrop color. Michael or McCall says, why can't police enhance that tag? They have the same tools probably that you and I do. Maybe a little bit better, but it's not like CSI, where they zoom in on something that's, 3 pixels by 3 pixels, and they can hit a button and it becomes a 4K image. It just doesn't work like that. So I appreciate you. That's a good, it's a fair question, legitimate question. For sure. But unfortunately for authorities, a lot of the tools that we think that they have, they don't necessarily have. Also, we're in Jonesboro, Arkansas, so that, this case will have some detectives assigned to it, but you got to consider, too, we don't even have a crime lab in Jonesboro. We have a single crime lab for the entire state of Arkansas. It's ridiculous. There's up to an 8-month wait right now on certain kits and certain evidence, probably more in others that we don't even know about. But it's, authorities could use some more tools and could be equipped a little bit better. And sometimes we ask a lot of them and don't give them enough. So, is that side mirror broken? Ashley says, yes, it does appear that it is. It appears like that side mirror is broken and hanging loose on the passenger side. The side windows are tinted, right, as you can obviously see. But whatever this thing hit over here on the side right here broke the window. However, the tint may be the only thing holding it together right here. So that's where this damage on this side, this discoloration right here is coming from. That's partially a broken mirror window. Somebody mentioned that she talked about running away. If you know her, please share what you know. If you're familiar with her, It says, if you look at the car, Jordan says, at the car picture, you can tell that behind the tree is a police car. Somebody mentioned there's 2 guys in the car. It looks to me like that there's one person in the driver's seat. I don't see 2 guys. Unless this was somebody in the passenger seat leaning up. I don't think so. And I don't think it was known. There's no evidence, at least, that they found that there was anybody else in the vehicle, although they don't know that there wasn't. But they don't have any indicators that, at least in that vehicle, was anything more than the driver and the young lady on the right side of your screen after she got into it. But that, like I said, there could have been people in the back and we wouldn't be able to see it. Eve, thank you for sharing what you know. Hope that you might be able to send that along to police. I know it's kind of a scary thing. You might be able, let me put the number up for Crimestoppers, because you can call them anonymously and leave them your information. 870935-STOP 7867. It's an automated system, so you won't have to talk to anybody. But if you don't care, please share that, or share that with the police themselves. They're really nice people, and they're just trying to put the girl back with her family. So it might seem like you don't know much, but you may know something. Tim asked if there's an Amber Alert. There's not. A lot of these situations, they don't end up meeting the criteria, especially if it's believed that the girl may have run away on her own accord, which there were some indicators of. That's what police seem to believe at this point, according to the press release. A vehicle that we're looking at on the left side of the screen is the one that she was last seen in. It's a Pontiac Grand Prix. It's got a rear spoiler on the back. It's got some damage to the passenger side. It's black. It's got an A-State Red Wolves decorative tag on the front of it. Should be recognizable. Should be discernible if you're able to spot that. Police need you to send them information if you've seen it, or if you've seen anything, even a social media post that may got deleted, or somebody acting funny, or somebody that knows someone. Who knows? But please contact police and share what you know with them. information, is crucial and vital at this point. And you got a family that's worried sick, obviously enough to the point where they're sharing stuff on social media and going to the police and asking for help. And I know what that's like. I don't know what it's like to have somebody go missing, but I know what it's like to ask the community for help and to rely on the police for that. And there's a powerless feeling of them wanting to do more and being restricted by the situation. What can they do? That's why I wanted the family and the community to know, at least, that we were doing all we could on this end to get the word out. And that we're hoping that the thousands of you that have joined us, we got 500 just watching live right now, we're hoping that all of you are helping too and engaging in this. And even if it's just a like or a share, or maybe, something else. Maybe you've seen something and you can share a tip, or you have more information. Whatever it is, we're hopeful that effort is one that brings results tonight, because we hate to see a family having difficulty like that. Amy says, I wonder if there are any recent car accident reports for that car. It's a question that's, a valid question. But that damage, who knows how old that is or new. It looks like the driver's wearing a plaid sports coat and maybe something scrunched, Teresa said. Plaid sports coat. Almost, yeah. It almost does. I'm just kind of taking a closer glance on my other monitor here. It's got a bit of a different resolution. I'm looking at two different monitors. One of them I'm looking at gives me an almost different visual than the other I'm looking at. So I'm trying to go back and forth between them. But I'm definitely seeing a plaid design there. And so I'm wondering if that means something. Marilyn shared in California. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, Marilyn. We're live in Jonesboro, Arkansas at the moment. This is Stan Morris reporting on NEA Report. It's 9 p.m. right now as we're coming at you live Monday night. 10 seconds until it, but by the time you hear this, it'll be 9 p.m. So we're coming at you live, as we have been for the last couple of hours, really, trying to do what we can to generate leads or information or tips in relation to the missing 16-year-old girl, Sloane Caroline Quinn. We've been hoping that just any information that could be generated might be able to be shared with authorities. 870-935-5657 if you have that. You want to contact Jonesboro Police. Crimestoppers, 870-935-STOP is the number to reach them. Angie says it could be a plaid button-up flannel shirt, most definitely. A concrete wall would have scratched down the side more, Nancy says, so that's something to consider. Sheridan Stuttgart says, Brandy, thank you for that. And Michelle asked, what does the plate on the front say? It's an Arkansas State University Red Wolves license plate. That's what we believe that is, and that's what detectives believe it is as well. It looks like an A-State logo on the right and the Red Wolves head on the left. So it does have Arkansas tags. This vehicle is quite possibly local. So hopefully some information could be, provided from that. Kelly says, kind of hot for a flannel today. Yeah, it would be. It might not have been too hot for just a button-up style dressier shirt, especially if you're coming to meet someone and you've been discussing that for a while and today's the big day, perhaps. If it's something that they planned, which if she's thrown the phone away in the trash, they clearly planned it. I mean, that's, somebody planned something at that point. So, I would suggest it's a shirt. If I was guessing, it's probably a dressier shirt. That's a green plaid shirt. And it may be blue and just look green because windshields tend to have that green tint to them. But I'm thinking that's green. A green plaid shirt. Aaron mentioned it was 7:30 a.m., not that hot then. Very good point. It would have been, it would have been chilly, but it would have been cooler then during that time of the day. So, plus, inside of a vehicle, he's got the air on too. I tend to think it's a shirt and not a jacket or a sports coat, but, the plaid design is the one certainty we seem to have locked on that. So I'm curious, when we start to consider that plaid design and that car and all the other unique identifiers, what we might come up with. Renita said the ASU license plate could be placed on there to trick her. What if she thought she was meeting a college student? And I can't see the rest of the comment, but I think I know where you're going with that. It's a great possibility. I mean, you could be correct in that. That's why that whether we consider it a voluntary thing or not, even if she was fooled into running away on her own, that's what makes the Amber Alert system flawed. If they are a runaway, they're not qualified for that, but yet predators convince them to run away all the time. So, how can you say that it's not an urgent thing when it literally does meet the qualifiers for something that could be potentially bad that we have to worry about? Can they check the dash cam of the police car in the background? Where's the police car in the background? Maybe I don't know what y'all are talking about. Don't think that's a police car. Is that what you're talking about? Was there a police car in the other photo? Oops. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing the police car that you are talking about. Maybe you can help me out. Sorry, I keep going to that weird map image. That's irrelevant today. A black 2000 model, somewhere in there, Pontiac Grand Am. It's got a spoiler, damage to the passenger side. Somebody driving it with a green plaid shirt or top. I see what y'all are talking about now. The police car behind the tree. Oh, okay. That's a great point, and my guess is yes, they can. So I will make sure. That's the police car you guys are talking about. I just made note of that. I'll make sure authorities know about that, and I'll actually see if we might be able to get them on that. I'm glad that you guys said that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a Grand Prix. I said Grand Am, Grand Prix. Forgive me. Texting Corporal David McDaniel, the PIO, right now about that car. Asking him, did the police car in the background of the photo catch any dash cam footage? So that's going out to him. As I'm live, I always like to share any tips that might possibly come in through our chat. That's why I try to keep chat open. But sometimes I miss some of the chats that y'all send. And sometimes somebody gets crazy in the chat too. And if that happens, I am sorry. I try my best to keep up with all that stuff, but it's difficult sometimes to do all the moderation while in touch. So Sydney says the police car out there is an SRO for the school. So if it's the SRO that's got their vehicle out there, there's a chance, and a good one, that they're not running their dash cam because they just have the car parked. It's activated during certain things, such as when the lights come on, or, they can manually activate it too. Somebody mentioned security camera. Security cameras from maybe homes nearby, great possibility. Somebody mentioned the SRO may have been driving by at that time. Yeah, possibly so. So it would, somebody would have had to have activated the dash cam for it to have recorded anything. Or there would have had to have been some reason why it was on. It just is highly unlikely, but we're sending that to the police nonetheless to check. As we mentioned before, no tip is too small. Pamela says her friends need to come forward if they know anything. Some friends know something, if she was planning. And you have to look at this and think there was some type of effort, some plan that must have been put into place, because a cell phone thrown in the garbage can by a 16-year-old, that's pretty, I don't know. Maybe all 16-year-olds know that nowadays, but that seems like a conversation at least had to precede that, right? This is in Arkansas. We are in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and Mary asks, why is nobody running this license plate? Well, nobody can see what the license plate number is. The front license plates are decorative on this vehicle. In Arkansas, you don't have to have front and rear license tag numbers, as you do in many other states. So just so you know that. What is she wearing? We don't know what she was wearing today. That would be good info if we get that. I would like to get that, but I don't have that. Rebecca says maybe the SRO saw something. Very possible he did. By the way, I'm approaching 1 hour, 30 minutes. I'm not entirely sure what the time limit is, if there is one on Facebook for a live stream. So if this bumps us off, I may come back live to you right afterwards. Otherwise, just disregard everything I just said. I'm getting some messages on the Facebook page. Ah, yes. Silvano sent me a message of the police car. So appreciate that. But the cars are not always... Oh, good. Okay. So by the way, 8 minutes ago, let me finish the first thought. The cars are not always recording just because they're on, or at least in Jonesboro, I don't believe that's the case. There hasn't been with police footage I've received from Freedom of Information Act before. It has to have some type of, something triggers it, be it lights or such as a sudden acceleration, I think would. So Arkansas State Police have sent out an advisory for the missing girl. And, of course, it's not an Amber Alert, but it is going to be the closest thing we get to something like that right now. It's been sent out by state police, and it's actually another photo of her. So if you bear with me, I need to take this down on the left side since I'm going to be opening up my email. That could be interesting. What I'm going to do is try to pull that up and show you guys the release from Arkansas State Arkansas State Police. There we go. All right, so now Arkansas State Police at about 8:52 has sent out a news advisory, and that's going to be coming up on the screen right there. The news advisory shows the missing girl, Sloane Caroline Quinn, 16, last seen at Valley View High School. It's got some information about her physical description. It says 5'7", 145 pounds or so. Last seen getting into a Pontiac Grand Prix, black in color. Has an Arkansas State University A state license plate on the front, damage to the passenger side mirror is broken and hanging down. And they ask if you've seen her to call Jonesboro Police Department. The number they have down there, a little difficult to make out, but I'll just put this one up so you can see it. 870-935-5657 is the number. It's good news there that the Arkansas State Police news, whoever's managing their news PIO right now, it's good that they sent that out because that's, hopefully going to encourage some other news outlets to do some coverage of this and maybe help share this, get the information out to people. We want to show you that vehicle and keep that up on the screen just because a lot of folks are looking at that and coming up with good theories and good ideas and some good tips here tonight too. We appreciate everybody that's joined us live tonight on the live stream as we've been coming at you live for quite a minute here. Stan Morris reporting on NEA Report. Hopeful that tonight, as we've been coming at you live, we can get some kind of tips or information generated for authorities and for the family of this young girl. Sheila said, I never understood why Arkansas doesn't require front license plates. You've got to consider, honestly, you've got to consider that kind of question when you're looking at something like this. This is why you would want to have front licensed plates, right? But the inverse to that, I guess, is government overreach or government doing too much, and it's going to cost twice as much or something. I don't know. I don't know the arguments as to why that is. Caitlin says, does she have an Apple Watch? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. Amanda says Stan, question mark. Amanda. Let's see. Chris says, is that a black car or dark green? I think it's a black car, but it was tough to see. So it could be dark green. So some folks had, and I missed this comment because I was out of chat for just a second. I can't go back and read it. John Tristan said he thought he had seen her. So I missed that comment because I was looking at the email to see. But please, John, if you have even an inkling that you might have seen her, please call Jonesboro Police and just share that with them. Tell them you watched our live stream. Tell them you might have seen something, you might not, but you just want to make sure that they knew what was going on. 935-5657, Crimestoppers 870-935-STOP. I can't see John's message to everybody that was telling me to check that, but I will look at that if he retypes it, but preferably he sends it to JPD because I want them to look at it more than I want to see that. Staying live because we're getting a lot of folks that have joined us. We are also getting a lot of tips that are coming in too, and any of that could be useful. All of that could be useful. So, anything that we're able to get. I'll see. Daryl says, no, sir, it doesn't cost the government nothing. We pay for our plates. Yeah, but if we have to pay for it, the argument is that you're making poor people who need a way to work and back have to pay more and more and more to get there. No, trust me, that's the last thing I want to do is have a political argument for or against the license plates. I think it's a valid argument to have them on the front and the back because in an instance like this, we would possibly have a better idea of the the identity. I saw somebody earlier mention that ask if anybody's gone to the A State parking lots and looked around. No, but it's not a bad idea. Some other people, somebody said, John, you've seen her in Ohio. I know we're getting a lot of folks sharing this across the U.S., and I just want to, I probably need to put this up here on the screen because we are in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and, a lot of folks won't realize that. They'll see this and they'll say missing, and they it's highly unlikely, but it's possible, I guess, that somebody in Ohio might have information about this. We're really especially looking locally and regionally right now, but we appreciate everybody that's liking, commenting, following, and sharing this because your tip, your like, could help this to get in front of somebody that knows something. Amanda asks, is the family out searching? Do they need volunteers? Don't know, but that's a very nice gesture to ask such a question. If the family's watching and they do need help, please share that in the chat. I'm just checking. Okay, somebody says, I'm pretty sure I saw her today at Flying J 3140 Route 350 Lebanon, Ohio. So it's a long shot, but it's worth sending that along to police. Since he's not local, I am going to send that to Jonesboro Police Department right now, just in case. Thanks everybody for catching that comment, because I was just trying to go through the messages. I'm trying to, got some other people sending that too. Thank you everybody. Oh man, I appreciate y'all for being on top of things tonight. As I'm trying to go through and juggle and manage, everything from the comments to the other photos, it's sometimes a little too much for just one person, but thankfully we got 480 awesome folks from across Northeast Arkansas and around the United States tonight helping us here on the NEA Report. The family of 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn is looking for her, and they hope that you can help find her. She's been missing since before 8 a.m. this morning, and this video is on the left side of your screen. It's actually a still image. It's a still image of video surveillance footage taken this morning. That's the car that she was seen getting into. She hasn't been seen since. If you have any information about where they may be, I've seen some people comment in the video that they thought they had seen the girl. And, if you think you have, if you're not even sure but may have, most definitely contact Jonesboro Police Department. 870-935-5657. You can also contact Crimestoppers anonymously in the Jonesboro, Arkansas area, 870-935-STOP. That's 7867 if you would like to help out, but do it anonymously. We need your help. Nonetheless, if you have any information that may be able to help authorities and, more importantly, the family, to help the family get back in touch with someone they love and miss and are worried about dearly, that's the goal here tonight. I'm going to see if I can pull up some different photos of the young girl here, because I want to show everybody what she looks like and what she might also look like depending on the photo that was taken or the lighting or whatnot, because there's some different images that are out there. And if you haven't seen it, I've posted the text version of this at neareport.com. That's neareport.com. You'll actually see on the left side of your screen in 3 seconds from now the website, as I bring that up and show that to you right there. So let's, what I'm going to do is click on the story here to bring up the photo that I was just telling you about. There's this week's, some of this week's news. Apologies here as we're coming to you live and bringing some of this stuff to you live as we speak. So it's kind of an orthodox live broadcast, so to speak. So there's the photo that was sent to us by the Jonesboro Police Department. Bit of a different angle. Complexion looks a little different. Hair looks a little bit different. And then there's also an image that was posted by Arkansas State Police. They've sent out something, and they're hoping that you can also contact the Jonesboro Police Department as well. We'll show that to you. That is what State Police sent out now, showing up on the left side of the screen. Her phone was found in the trash at the school. It had been thrown away. Sounds like something that was thought out, planned out maybe a little bit. And the girl's believed to have run away, voluntarily. But, who's behind this? Who's behind convincing her to do that? And do they have her intentions, her best intentions at heart? We know they don't as far as their actions go, but they may not even have her best intentions at heart either. And that's why finding this girl and finding who took this girl is so important, because you just never know where this could go, and the family's obviously worried about that. And think about that. That's what the family's thinking right now. I hate to even say it. I try to avoid saying the things that scares them the most, but at the same time, I want the viewers and I want the young girl's friends to know they're thinking about this from the worst case scenario every moment. And that's what they fear is going to happen. And if there's even a small chance of that taking place, I mean, do you want to go down in history as the friend that didn't speak up? You'll never be able to live with yourself. Looking through the comments here, some folks talking about Aggie Road. A woman said that the car is always on Aggie Road. Be very curious about that. Amy mentioned they need to check her computer as well at school. I'm sure they are. Although I learned at one point in time that and I don't know how the Valley View School District is, but I learned the Jonesboro School District would just about not turn over a computer for any reason. It's a little bit weird. Two different people, it says, mentioned seeing this car on Mount Carmel Road, according to Nikki. I'm looking at comments on my iPhone, just so y'all know, because I've got all the computers in front of me are occupied. So if your comment's more than 2 or 3 sentences, it's going to cut it off, and it's glitched and won't let me expand it. So just so y'all know, if I don't see everything you say and it's a longer comment, that's why. If it was an ASU student car, wouldn't it have a parking tag in the windshield, somebody mentioned? I'm going to bring up a photo again of that car, because that was something that I had mentioned as well. I didn't think that we saw a parking tag in the windshield, right? I don't know what you guys were able to see in that. Sydney says we don't have our own computers at Valley View, so appreciate that information. That it's another kind of concern or area marked off. And Gunner says yes, it would have a parking sticker. Would the parking sticker be in the top right corner or top left corner, or bottom left, bottom right? Just curious. Gunner asks also, can police not see the license plate? No, they can't, or they can't clearly see it and make out what it says. This is the photo that they've sent to us here, and I'll zoom out just a little bit. It's too blurry to tell, and they're not able to enhance that to get a close-up view. I mean, this is, you know, what we're looking at, that blurred, that almost looks like an L and an N maybe. Only thing they know for sure is that's an Arkansas license tag. That's it. So, unfortunately, police don't have much to go off of on that. And for those of you watching, perhaps from outside of Arkansas, it's just a back license tag state. The front tags, we do not put license tags on here. So, it's a decorative plate that is at least indicative of a local plate, because it's the local football team, the Arkansas State University Red Wolves. It looks like that's the Red Wolf head logo on the left and the A-State logo to the right of it on that. So an identifying mark there. Donna asks, have phone records been checked? I'm sure they're checking them now. Allie mentions the bottom left is where a parking decal would appear. Appreciate that. William says, what is the car? It is a 2000 model Pontiac Grand Prix, I believe. Pull up the press release just to verify that. Grand Prix. Okay, because I called it a Grand Am earlier. I think I used to have a Grand Am. That's why I was thinking that. Michelle says, that looks like a parking sticker on the back window with a number on it as to what spot to park in. A very possible theory. It's certainly dark tint on the windows. And in this photo here, it does look like it's a dark green vehicle. You know, at least from that lighting. I think it's black. I know, but the police think it's black, and so do I, from what this looks like. You know, the Grand Prix did have that dark green color model, and so, you know, if you see something that matches every other way except for that color and it's close, then you probably have found the right vehicle, just to point that out there. Pamela says, airport flights going out to Ohio today. Not sure. Hopefully, I sent that tip along to police that John had posted. So if there's anything to that, they have that now. Traffic light cameras. Those aren't actually like recording constantly. I don't know. I'll have to someday explain that in a far more detailed and informed setting. But I've asked that question before and they can't. No idea what direction the vehicle was going to, Brittany. Airport would be too secure, I would think, for them to go that route. Crystal said. Yeah. Well, if for example, whoever this person was that this girl went with, if they took her across state lines, then it becomes a much even more serious criminally case than it already is. That's where they may be looking at, you know, the FBI possibly getting involved. So we don't know that. It's gone out of state yet, but you know, some of the tips, who knows? Don't let any of the tips drive the narrative too much, because you know, tips that are posted in the chat could be somebody that looked like someone but maybe wasn't. However, could also be you know, somebody that that has some good information. So Donna asked, what about businesses that would have passed along that way that have cameras? Yeah, they'll definitely check that out for sure. And something about motion sensors. Only 2 intersections have that. Kelly says, a popular place for all kids to go is the gas station across from Cash Saver. And Betty says, lots of kids hang out at Craighead Park. So a lot of folks trying to make sense of this, trying to look for angles or answers or, you know, any information that might assist in finding this missing girl that ran away apparently this morning. And if you have any information that may assist, you're asked to contact police. The phone number is 870-935-5657. If you would like, we can provide a number where you can call police anonymously as well. Authorities in Jonesboro, Arkansas. That's where we're at, northeast Arkansas. It's kind of close to Memphis, if you don't know, because there's going to be a lot of people are local and asking why I'm saying that, but you're going to have people from different states that do not have a clue what a Jonesboro, Arkansas even is. So we want them to know where we would be located. Think of between Little Rock, Memphis, and St. Louis, sort of if they all three met, Jonesboro. And we're trying to find out, I don't know, I think Memphis and Little Rock will probably just been the two. But we're trying to find out any information that could lead authorities back to this missing girl, 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn. I said I would put the number up if you have anonymous tips for Crimestoppers. Here is that number. It's 870-935-STOP. That's 935-7867. So if you have tips that might be able to assist authorities, that is the number to call anonymously. If you want to contact police and share your information, talk to a detective, here's the number for that. It's 935-5657. So we appreciate everybody that's joined our live stream tonight on the NEA Report. It's, of course, just about 9:30 in Jonesboro, about a minute before, and it's been since 7:30 or so this morning that the girl's been missing, about 14 hours ago, and just a tragedy that the family's having to deal with tonight. We hope that we've been able to assist just a little bit in maybe getting information out there. Our goal to try to pass along more information to the public and maybe help authorities find this missing girl. If you have that information, if you have tips, we would ask you to share that with authorities. We put those numbers up throughout our live broadcast. Here in just a few moments, we're going to be concluding the live broadcast, and we're going to let the video kind of linger out there. Hopefully we'll have more information. We'll come back at you live if we do learn something new. A lot of you that have been following NEA Report for the last month or so, you know I'm dealing with some pretty crazy stuff, personally, family stuff. So, you know, as far as our normal everyday coverage, it's been interrupted, but I definitely want to come and do live broadcast for, you know, situations like this that are urgent, that we hopefully can help with, and that maybe you can help with too. 16-year-old Sloane Caroline Quinn, runaway sometime, missing since 8 or so this morning. Family worried sick, community worried sick, and hopefully some answers will come soon. I'm Stan Morris. Thank you for joining us on NEA Report.